Good morning, everyone. Sorry I was 20 seconds late. Um, I'm having trouble getting ready for this morning. I've been running around crazy, didn't get home in time, didn't do enough last night. So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to go this morning, but it's going to go however it goes, I guess. Uh, Good morning, Mr. Mister. Good morning, Mr. John, Mr. Pete, Mr. TC. Hope you gentlemen are doing great. I guess TC's checking the Powerball. I I don't do Powerball myself. Hope you gentlemen are doing good this Thursday morning. It is pretty beautiful here, and I cannot figure out. Whoops! Dang it! Yep, I'm having issues this morning. We're going to be struggling a little bit. All right. So, let's see here. So, in my front pocket last night, I had the Winterblade Factor 8 M390 version of it. Had that in the front pocket. And then in my back pocket, I have my Winterblade Severn. Both of these knives are awesome. Love them. I think it's a tough choice between the two. I like this one because it's got the double-sided thumb studs and the back lock. But I like this one because it's slimmer and it's got the little fidget factor with the button there, the factor button. So I carried those two in my pocket last night. Morning, Tommy. And as you can see, I've got the blade steel and the scale sitting over here. I did lots of stuff last night. Well, let me finish talking about what I took to work. So, morning, Michael. So I took 3 more knives to shoot videos of. One was one of my Norsemen. I took that one. I took my Holt Haptic, which is a great little knife. Took that one. And I took my Holt Spectre. Another great one. I thought they needed to be on video. They hadn't been on there in a while, so I shot some shorts of those. So those were the knives I had with me last night. And like Pete said, if y'all don't mind smashing that like button, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. Y'all been doing great lately, and I do thank you very much. I know it just takes reminding y'all. Y'all don't care to do it. It's not that difficult, but I forget myself a lot of times when I'm watching a video, so I know how it is. Put these up so they don't get damaged. Let me get these two out of the way as well. So, I stayed pretty busy last night at work. And I worked on a bunch of designs. People that have been in the Discord this morning have probably seen those, but if you have not, then you probably have not. So, I had to... Now, I'm not taking credit for any of these. I did have to change them quite a bit because they would not fit perfectly on the blank of steel that we have. So let me pause this flame so that it's not all chaotic, so y'all can see what's going on a little bit better. In fact, let me just change it to a static image. Boom. Boom. All right. So we have got an 8-inch by 1.5-inch piece of steel, and we've got lots of knives to pick from. So I'm going to leave it up to y'all to decide which knife we decide to make. But I've got a bunch. So these all fit perfectly on this piece of steel. Let me scoot these up a little bit. So far, I've got a few that are my favorites. Some people have chimed in and said which ones were their favorites. I believe I've got 12 of them. Might even be 13, but no, let's see. I think it is 12. So, every single one of these fits on the metal perfectly. Yeah, they also have a button on YouTube that's for save, Christopher. You ought to make you some playlists like watch later and hit the save button instead of the like button. But good morning, Christopher. Thank you for hitting that. So, right off the bat, who's got a favorite? Do you like any of them? Do you hate them? Are any of them speaking to you? This one is in the top running right now, I do believe. The one that's on the steel right now. We are going to vote. I am going to try to narrow it down to maybe 5 that y'all like. So Pete likes the right row, second one down. This one. This was the first one that I did. And the fourth one down. So you like these two, Pete? All right. So I'm going to rearrange them a little bit here. So right now we've got these two. As far as ease, I mean, I kind of want to make them all now. TC, you're going to have to wait a second and start over because I've got new rows. Yeah. Okay, so Michael likes the two that Pete picked and the Warney. I'm going to make a poll, TC, but I can't put all 12 in the poll. So, the Warncliffe has been added. So these 4 are the 4 that are added so far. So we need one more for the poll. So out of these over here on the right side, what do y'all think the last one that should be added for the poll is? Let me turn off the chat for a second so y'all can see the Knives. I also really like this one. I think this one looks super cool. I also like the Tanto that he just mentioned, if this is the one he was talking about. We're making a knife, Ron Crow. So y'all let me know what the last one to pick out of this right row is. I like this one. The first one I picked up, this one. All right, I'm just going to make the call and we're going to vote. So I like the thumb ramp on this one. The handle looks like it would fit my 4 fingers nicely too. The blade grind seems pretty easy on that one. I like that one. I like them all for different reasons. I like that one. This one also has a nice thumb ramp. But let's go with this one. So, we've got our top 5, and I'll number them from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting at the top. All right. So let me make the poll. Don't be screaming out what you want. Let's see. Which knife should we attempt to make first? One, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, it'll only let me add 4. That's stupid. So I'm gonna have to make a call, and I'm gonna remove this one and put this one at number 1. So y'all are gonna have to reevaluate your choices. So we got 1 at the top, 2, 3, and 4 at the bottom. Yeah, that's funny, Ron Crow. You not see the metal under the one in the middle? So I will let the poll run for a few minutes. We don't have many people in here. I pulled the wrong one, Michael. Let me get the metal out of the way, because that might change the looks of that one. I got rid of the best one. You like that one, Michael? I Acquired them numerous different places. I can't really tell you any one specific place, Ron. I got them all. I resized them. I had to change some stuff on some of them. I've got the file names and I've got printouts of all of them and telling me how to scale them appropriately to print them the right size. So I've got all of them listed here with the file names and the scale size that I've got to print them at so that they print correctly. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do a hollow grind. And as far as grinds go, I kind of thought we could add a swedge to just about anything we pick. So if we do go with this one, which was my first original one, we can add a swedge to it up there at the top, or try to. So this one in hand would look kind of like that, so my hand will fit it. Most of these blades are about 3 3/4 inches. I know this one is. This one's almost 4. This one's a little under 3 3/4. I haven't measured. They're all about 8 inches long total. Yeah, this one's about 3 3/4. This one's right at 3 3/4. This one's only, well, it's 3 1/2 back here to this part. The Tanto is almost 3 3/4, a little under. Yeah, well, you can't really vote for number 5 anyway because there's only 4 options on the screen. Right now, it's neck and neck, 2 and 3. We've only got 8 votes. So let's talk about the process we're going to go through a little bit while we wait and let some more people vote. I'm going to put these back up so that people aren't confused. If you're just joining, I'll be the tiebreaker because I get to vote, but I can't vote on the poll. But I want to buy 3 or 4 more of these $17 kits and make a bunch of these knives. So I've got a predicament now. Now I want to make a bunch of knives. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the metal. So I don't know what I did with the metal. Where did I put it? We're going to take the metal. We're going to do like you see a lot of people do. I'm just winging this. Mister, I'm going to try to go by the drawing exactly. I'm going to put lanyard holes in the end of all of them. I might only use 2 pins instead of 3 on the 2. But they all have lanyard holes, and I think I might just swap to 2 pins on the ones that have 3, since the other 2 have 2. Morning, Ed. You got to vote. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which knife are we making? Let me get zoomed in a little better where that's all that's on the screen, or pretty much all that's on the screen. Yep, they're all going to have Edyard holes. That's for sure. You have to vote up there at the poll, Andrew. Number 2 pulled ahead. Yeah, I agree, Ed. I seem to think there's gonna be more of these kits in my future, since they're only $17, and if I order a few, I might not have to pay shipping every time. But this one was the first one that I did. So the one that's in the lead is the first actual knife I picked. Looks like it would be easy to do the grind on. And I have decided, well, let me just talk through what I think the process is going to be, okay? So we'll take the knife that we choose. Let me take another one that's not in the running, I guess. If you're just joining, you have to pick 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the poll as far as which knife we're making. But I did size these to where they fit pretty much perfectly, all of them, on the metal blank. I had to keep scaling them and reprinting them until I got them exactly where I didn't waste any metal. So what we're going to do is, like you see, like I've seen people on videos do, is we're going to take some magnets. We're going to stick this down to here, and then we're going to spray paint over it with some spray paint. That will leave us the place we need to cut out. Then we're going to use my cordless angle grinder that all of you should be able to get access to. If you don't, you can find one in a yard sale maybe. Yeah, I like the one on the metal too. It's one of my favorites. It looks very comfortable. It's got a thumb ramp too. I went through hundreds and hundreds of designs to pick the ones that I picked. So there's a reason that each one of them got picked. And for the people that are just joining, there's actually 12 designs, and we kind of narrowed it down to those 4. But I will go through and show you some of the other ones that were not chosen. This is a Strider, and this one would have wood on the handles. It's just not drawn in, of course. I mean, it wouldn't have wood. It'll have the Tiffany blue that came with the kit. So that's another one. This is another one that Michael seems to like. I like it too, but it would be great with a hollow grind. Then this is one of the last ones I did because I wanted another like reverse Tonto. And I don't know what's up with these holes here. I didn't do that. So they will not be on the on the dealio. Those holes will not be there. There will be a pin. These two will be pins, but I don't know what those. It almost looks like, and I forgot to cut out that finger groove on that one, so that one's kind of not. It's called Pro Cut Steel. Andrew. Here's another one. This one barely fits on the steel. Yeah, it's the Pops Pro Cut kit. So the name of the steel is Pro Cut. I like this one too. This one kind of reminds me of well, I don't know, a knife. But as you can see, I got the scaling and stuff to where we're not going to have much scrap. So anyway, as I was saying, the plan is to use magnets to hold this down on the metal, spray paint over it, take my angle grinder, make little cuts into it pretty close, and then cut off the parts we're not going to use. And then we will use this little thing. And I wanted to use this as much as we can, but I don't want to use it to take out this much metal. I almost wouldn't mind taking out that much metal, but it's going to take a long time. And I think we can speed things up with the angle grinder. I want to be able to use tools that we all can get a hold of. I don't want to use any specialty tools. I've got a big belt sander and I've got a bandsaw, and I've got all kinds of stuff. If you're just joining, we're voting 1, 2, 3, or 4 on which knife we're going to build. All right, so yep, we've only got 11 votes so far. Fuchs, you got to vote while you're here, buddy. You got to vote 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which knife are we making? Yeah, Mister. I don't want to use any of my big stuff. I'm gonna try to do it with mostly hand tools. You voted, Fuchs? All right. Well, I guess the vote is closed. I'm not even going to vote because I would vote for this one and make it a tie. Because I want to do a little more than this one has. This one is a little plain to me. And I want to do a little more stuff. I haven't seen how this one feels in the hand, though. Yeah, that finger choil does not fit my finger very well. I would have to make it bigger, probably. I could probably cut down this point and just make it a choil. Kind of like that. And it would be more comfortable. So I guess it's going to be this one, huh? This one does fit all 4 of my fingers good. Going to be comfortable. Going to be a good size. It should be a good one that y'all could do yourselves. I can make the belly on this one a little bit bigger. Since this is the first one I did, I didn't stretch my limits as much as I did on these other ones. I would have enlarged this one a little bit. I tried to use all the so I think when I do this one, when I spray paint it, dang it, I was at work with the printer, so I can't reprint it. That's all right. That makes me mad that I didn't use all the metal that I could. And I'm afraid if I freehand it, all right. So I guess we could just use a marker instead of spray paint. Let me go grab some magnets really quick off of my fridge. It's 1/8 of an inch, I believe. If you go look up Pop's Pro Cut, it is the challenge kit. It's thicker than both the folding knives that I had in my pocket last night. Of course, y'all know me. I buy all kinds of extra stuff at times, and I was going to mill out some pockets in some wood to make my own magnetic knife holders. So I ended up buying a bunch of these packets of magnets to mill out and to hold blades with in those yeah, TC, that's okay. The reason I want to do it this way is because I want to be able to enlarge it a little bit. But I've got tons of these little magnets. I want to keep us lined up to where we're having to do the littlest amount of cutting possible. So anywhere that I can line it up with the lines on the steel, I've got a ton of these little magnets, so we can definitely get it to stay on there. All right. So I'm going to try to enlarge this bottom where we've got some extra metal here. And let me get this to where I can actually do it. Good. Who thinks I'm going to draw on the green? All right, before I run out of ink, let me get around the outside of it to start with. Then I can go back and all right, so I was thinking with the handle here, since we had a little more room, I can kind of leave the handle a little thicker too. But I want to try to draw the blade a little bigger. But actually what I can do is I can just make a thick line, or try to make a thick line with the Sharpie. And you know, we're going to have to grind this by hand anyway, so, I mean with the sander. So there on the blade, I can kind of go to the outside of that line. And that'll add a little size to the belly. All right. That looks pretty good. I don't need to fill in all the rest of this. I've got a line around the whole thing. Like I said, we're going to have to sneak up to it anyway. And I wanted to spray paint it. I probably should have. But this will work just fine. All right. Let's see what we got here. Wonder how easily this will rub off. That's my only worry. And if it does, we can just flip it over and use spray paint. Oh, good grief. These little magnets are super strong. So, there we go. We'll have to put a point on it. You know, we can definitely get a point on that. So that should work decently. We don't have much metal to cut off. And I can use this again once we get it to shape to put the holes in and kind of follow the blade grind and lanyard hole. All right. Yeah, these are super strong. Like I said, I looked at one of these metal, one of these knife holders that I bought, and they have little pockets milled with like two. I was going to line up two of those magnets to hold each knife. All right, so I've got my phone set up in the garage over there with some clamps and a table because I don't want to throw sparks in here. So we're going to relocate in there. I have a vise and stuff out in my other garage, but it's mounted to the workbench out there, and the remote signal out there does not work as good. So like I said, there's going to be some tools I'm not going to be using. But I'm going to switch the mic to my phone. I'm going to go in there. Let me see if I can get zoomed in just a little bit closer. Then I'll move my phone over to the edge so we'll be able to see where I'm grinding. And I'm right at the middle of the... Hold on. Did that zoom in? Yeah, that did zoom in, right? All right. Maybe even like that. Let me go adjust my phone and come back in here and check it. Give me just a second. I'm going to take the metal with me so I can kind of see what it looks like on screen. All right. Hold on. I'll be right back. Bill? Almost want to draw it on the other side. Guess it really doesn't matter. Wish I could cut it. Guess you can go from this side. So, all right. What we can do. Like I said, I've got a better vise set up, way better. I don't want to. Y'all can't hear me either. I mean, my microphone's probably picking up a little bit, but I'm going to switch it to my All right. That looks like a good start. If I need to hold it, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I might need to get a vise in here or go out to my other garage. I need better clamps. I bought those 2 C clamps not long ago at a yard sale, and I don't know what the heck I did with those. Could probably use one of those right now. I have no idea what I did with those. So, we're going to throw some sparks at least a little. See how it goes. I'm going to switch the microphone to my phone. Yeah, it'll move with that, but I'm going to hold the other end of it with my other hand. It will move. It did move. I need to find that C-clamp that I bought. What the heck did I do with those? I thought they were in here, but do not see them. I've got some other C-clamps. I need ones that I can really crank on down and tighten down. And like I said, I was not prepared this morning, so I had to just kind of scramble and grab some stuff. And we might need to just get better prepared and kind of start next week, but y'all know me, I'm not a quitter. So I'm going to attempt to do something today. If I have to go find some other clamps, so be it. It sucks I can't find those 2 I just bought at a yard sale a few weeks ago. I could have sworn they were like right here. Oh, hold on. I might know where they are. Let me dig through some stuff really quick. I got knife boxes everywhere from moving stuff around. Dang it, clamps, where are you? Yeah, I'm not seeing them. I thought they were over here, possibly. Nope. Don't see them. Alright. Yeah, I know we could have better situation. I told y'all I was not properly prepared this morning. But we're gonna see what if we have to get better prepared and start next week. That's what we'll do. But see what the still feels like when I get it grinder. At least gonna attempt it. Looks dangerous, or I don't feel comfortable. We'll stop instantly. What in the heck did I do with those stupid clamps? Alright, microphone should be on this out here now. And I've got another couple of clamps, but I really can't get to them. I guess we could start with this back part at least. That feels pretty sturdy actually. So let's see. Alright, so the steel is going to go pretty easy. I've got it the wrong angle. Alright, I need to sit over here. I have no idea what y'all can see. And I can't see. Yep. have to find my corded angle grinder because this thing just doesn't have much juice. But at least we're throwing some sparks. That's fun. But this thing just really doesn't have much kick. Maybe we can work on a little bit of it and get better prepared next week. And we can at least see what the sander is talking about. How hot is that? All right, the whole thing is pretty hot. Probably going to get hot enough to melt these clamps and the table. Let's see. I think I can get a little bit more of this off. I know this is not the greatest setup, but y'all know we try to get it done regardless of what we got, how it's going. Need to get this clamp further back or something. Wow, that end's hot. Alright, yeah, these clamps suck. The whole setup sucks. I apologize. I did not do a very good job this morning of getting ready, or last night getting ready, knowing what we would have to do today. But we're trying to make a little bit happen. I'm trying to just be careful. Can't even get to it because of the stupid clamp. Yeah, this sucks. Bad. And there's one battery already gone. These little batteries suck too. I got the little ones. So we're not going to be able to get much done today. But we're not going to spend the whole episode every Thursday on this either. I figured we might work on it like 30 minutes and then move on and look at some stuff. Make sure to wear eye protection. Yeah, this angle grinder sucks. And my clamps suck. The whole thing sucks. Not the greatest preparation I've ever done. I know what I need to do. It's because of this middle, I need to move back a little bit because I can't get my other clamp over there. I've almost got enough that we can start using the belt sander a little bit. That's all I'm trying to accomplish today. Just get us to where we can use the belt sander a little bit. I'm not trying to accomplish much today. could go. I guess I'm going to keep going until this battery dies. Yeah, this grinder sucks. I gotta use my corded grinder. All this was bad today. Every part of this was bad except for showing you the stencils I had, getting the design picked out. But this whole table, clamps, grinder, everything's pretty bad. But I did get a little bit of metal removed that we can sand, and we can work on this corner and possibly the blade. So I'm going to go back in there and we'll do some grinding with the little table grinder. Yeah, y'all know this is all just a learning experience and we're just having fun anyway. So it's not like we have to get a ton. Oh, y'all were saying I was doing okay? I couldn't see any of the chat, so I figured y'all were laughing at me. I was feeling okay with what I was getting done. I mean, as you can see, I got this to where we can pretty much round off this with the belt sander or see how it works, and I started getting the blade cut off. But like I said, my setup out there is not what I want. Let me take and put something over this material here so that I don't throw sparks and melt this stuff. So let me see. Let me grab something. I guess I can use my other old mat. We'll throw it down. I got to be careful with these magnets. You don't want to put them close to anything computer related. All right, that's what we'll use. I don't mind if I throw sparks on that a little bit. Ron Crow, yeah, I'm not clumsy. The clamp started to come loose though, so that really sucked. Yeah, I got home with like 10 minutes and I had to round up all kinds of stuff in that 10 minutes and it just didn't happen this morning. I will be better prepared next week and we will have a better workstation. I promise you that, but I really wanted to see what this, well, the button's on, see what this sander is going to do to this steel. Ron Crow, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. He said do something simple like a flipper tab delete. That's pretty rude. Appreciate the fate. Let's see what this thing does. Not much. What grit belt do I have on here? I thought I had the highest grit that I had. I need to crank up the speed, probably. Yeah, I don't know if this thing's going to have enough power to do this. Yep, not sure about this thing. Huh. Yeah, this thing, it is doing something, but it's very, very slow. Very, very slow. Very, very underpowered. There's full speed. Yeah, well, at least now we know. I guess if you wanted to sit here for an hour, yeah, this thing, at least we know now though. I mean, it is removing material and it is working, as you can see. But I've got the best belt, the most coarse belt it comes with. Let me see what, I think it was an 80. Might not have been. Let's see what this is though. Yeah, this is a 120. I think I need something like a 40 or a 60. But it didn't come with that. I did order some, but they haven't come in yet. All it's got is like 600 and 800. There's a 320. Let me see what else I got. I could at least put a fresh 120 on. There's an 800, 600, 800. I don't even know what that one is. Or that one. That one feels kind of coarse. Oh, that's a 320. Yeah, that's not going to do it. 120 is the best I got, and I don't know that I have another one of those. 1,000? What in the world? Let me see. Maybe that other set will have one of the... Yeah, that's 1,000. What in the world? Why are these so high grit? Like, what do they expect you to do with all these? That's 800. Did not find anything with any kind of grit. I did order some. Okay, that one looks like something. Yeah, that's the 120. That's a fresh 120. Might try a little bit more with that one. That's all I've got right now. I did order some. I guess I'll have to put an order into Amazon for some and get them quicker by next Thursday so we can do some more work on this thing. But all I've got right now is some 120s, it looks like. But at least this one is a fresh one. And like I said, all this is just a test. I just wanted to see what this little $33 thing was capable of, and it might just be capable of a few flipper tab deletes here and there. I had my guard a little close, it seemed. I don't think that was, let's finish rounding off this corner at least. Yeah, we're going to have to use a real belt grinder. I've got one out in the garage. But we might not, I might have to bring it in here to my attached garage because the signal out there doesn't work that great. Yeah, this thing sucks. I mean, it is working, but man, I'm so used to a regular belt sander. Seems like it's taking an hour and a half. Yeah, this belt sucks. This belt sucks. The grinder, I mean, I guess it's made for little tiny stuff like polishing jewelry or whatever. It's not really the task this thing is intended for. It's 33 bucks on Temu, so what do you expect? I mean, it did work on a flipper tab delete, but it's not working great on this. So we will have to readjust, and next week we will use the real belt grinder out in my other garage, or I will move it in here in my attached garage or something. But at least we got the knife shape picked out, so that's cool. And it was the very first one that I did, so I didn't have to do the other 11. Yeah, that little sander thing, I mean, it's not made for that, you know? I'm asking too much of it, really. So I will get better prepared. I've just had to work 7 days a week recently, and I've just not had much time. Like, I've only got 5 hours a day besides work and sleep and this broadcast to get done everything I've got to do around the house and errands. And 5 hours a day goes pretty quick, especially if you have to drive somewhere. I'm not making any excuses. I totally accept the fact that I was not prepared like I should have been this morning. But I also did get a lot of knife designs picked out for y'all last night, so I did work on that the best I could from work. I might work on this in a better clamp in my vise out in the garage and get us to a better point, because y'all know how to cut off metal, I guess. So I might get us to a better starting point next week too, where we don't have to do a bunch of this silly stuff. We can get into the actual making of it. If y'all have appreciated what you've seen so far, or if you haven't, either way, smash that like button for me if you don't mind. I'm going to drink a little bit of coffee and wait for y'all to tell me a super cool new knife to go look at. I have not bought anything the last few days, so that's kind of weird. Kind of slacking in that department. I tried to buy one last night, but the guy was a jerk, and we were both worried about $2, I guess. Oh, yes, Andrew, I did. It's got super strong detent now. And it actually it's actually quite different than it was. It won't shake out at all now, and I was able to front flip it. Let me see if I can grab it here. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. But yes, I did fix the detent on it. It will not shake out anymore at all, no matter how hard I shake it. And I used to be able to light switch it, and now I can't. I can still front flip it, but when I first got it, I was able to just very easily light switch it. I used a ball nose end mill, a tapered ball nose end mill that I've got, and I put it in my drill, and I just pushed a little bit and just flared out the detent hole to make it a little bigger, and that worked like a charm. And now I've lost my ball nose end mill. I was going to show you the bit I used. I showed it on the video though. I don't know what I did with that. That's not good. I will find it though. But yeah, I just used a tapered ball nose end mill that I've got. It's made out of carbide. And I chucked it up in the drill, and I held it here on the table. And I pushed on it a little bit, and then I checked it, and it was fixed. But now that I've got the detent ball setting in the hole better, I can take some pressure out of the lock bar to make it drop shut like a guillotine, and maybe go back to where I can light switch it again. So now I've got a range that I can set the detent myself with the lock bar pressure, instead of having to just rely on what it was. But yes, detent is fixed on it. It is great now. Thank you for asking. Oh, here it is. Here's the carbide ball nose end mill that I used. So this fit right down in the hole, the detent ball hole. Turn off the filter. You can see it's a carbide tapered end mill. And so I put that in the drill right here, and I just pushed on it and made the chamfer around the hole a little better. So yeah, that was cool. Let's see here. Let me get to a... Oh, I remember. I could make the main one. There we go. We can do a couple of size comparisons really quick to see how it compares to the other... I don't remember. Oh, it's this one, I think. Yeah, that one should be life size. Let me make sure here. I can always check it against my my Osborne. So is the Osborne the same size? Yes. All right. So I've got the screen set right. So our fixed blade compared to some of these knives, like compared to the Dixon, will be pretty close to the same size as the Dixon. it will be bigger than the Morpheus blade size. Pretty close. It's going to match a lot of knives. There's the REK Shaman. That's what it'll look like compared to it. I didn't take a picture of the after. I can though. Yeah, I don't know why everybody picked this one. But if you want to see how it compares to like a Rosie, there's the size of it next to a Rosie. Or next to a Baby Banner, which is not really here, by the way. Or it next to the Shaman. So yeah, our fixed blade is going to be a good size. 8 inches is a good size for a knife. And like I said, the finger choil and handle should be very comfortable on this thing. I can easily get 4 fingers on it. Should feel pretty good. I would say you should get one if you need it for the collection. If you don't want the liner lock version, then just wait on the brown lock version. But I think it's worth getting. It's kind of, I would use a coupon and try to get it for cheaper, because I had to get it the day it came out, and I couldn't. The coupons didn't work. Coupons, whatever, however you say it, coupon, didn't come out until the next day, and I couldn't wait that long, so I paid more for it than I probably should have. But it does have a really nice hollow grind. Everything about it's great. Fit and finish is great. I only had just a little bit light detent, and it wasn't bad. It was like a 6. In fact, most people would probably say it was okay, and I could just shake it out with vigorous. I mean, it took a pretty hard shake. I mean, you can pretty much shake any knife out if you shake it hard enough. That one just shakes out super easy. So the fact that I like this one probably says something about the detent of that other one. It's probably just as good as this one. There's probably some other knives over here that I would say I like. They probably have the same detent as this one had when I got it. So, good morning, Stacy. We're doing great this morning. How are you? If y'all don't mind smashing that like button, that'd be awesome. Y'all give me some new knives to look at today. I'm curious what y'all are getting this week, or what's on y'all's mind as far as knives go this week. What is that red thing at the bottom? Oh, that's for my main. There we go. Let's see. I haven't even opened Firefox this morning. We've stayed pretty busy. Something else I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what that was either, of course. I usually try to make myself notes. So if y'all don't know, my house has a 2-car attached garage, and I put a wall down the middle and made it a 1-car attached garage. The garage closest to the interior of the house, and I built a music studio room out here in the other half, and that's where I do the broadcast from. But there is a single car garage right here beside me, next room over, and that's where I was doing that work. And you can see it's just a single car with a man door and a deep freeze and an extra fridge, and that's where car gets parked. But that's where I was at. I just threw a table up real quick and sitting there doing my thing. But I've got a 2-car exterior garage where all my actual power tools and stuff are, that is not attached to the house. And it's further away, so the Wi-Fi signal doesn't work the greatest. Sorry. Yeah, Michael, I've been talking about that this week on stream. We've run across that new buck a couple of times. I still don't know how they justify selling an aluminum knife for over $200. I don't know why they didn't pick titanium, but yeah, I did mention that they're trying to move into the You got your Vosti croc yesterday? Christopher, what'd you say? DLC 3V North Mountain. What's the name of the knife? We'll go check it out, and then we'll go look at let's see, what'd you say? DLC 3V. Oh, I guess I showed y'all. So I did order my I did order my Omega. It should be here in a few days. And here's a picture. Here's a video of it. I think I put a video up. Let's see. What did I do? Where did I put that? I put it in general. Possibly. Yes, I did. Here's the new Omega that I ordered, though. And then we'll look at the DLC one you just mentioned. But yeah, I got one of these on the way. I got the DLC version of it. That's what made me think of it. But this is the new Omega. It's 9 1/3 inches long and almost an inch thick. So I did get that ordered. So I went ahead and got the DLC version so it would match my Arma XL and my Get On. Okay, now back to what Christopher said. I'm not sure if he said the name of the knife yet, but DLC North Mountain Dwayne should get us there. Ah, very pretty knife. Is that the frag one you got, Christopher? Stacy, I'm not far from Kentucky. I ought to come up there this weekend. Are you going to the Bourbon and Blades, Stacy? Let me turn on the volume so we can hear what he says here. That's a beautiful knife, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Whoa. That wasn't good. Hold on. Let me get my audio right. All right.
Carter here with Edge Mindset. Thanks for joining me. We're gonna talk about this BBNM, this latest edition. Pretty cool, pretty exciting. But
It looks
first, I
pretty
gotta take care of
small.
a wound. This thing sliced me open. So, no. They send me here. I've got stuff in there. If you want, hold just one movie magic. It'll be. And I forgot. I messed this one up. So this is my old BBNM from North Mountain Blade. I attempted to patina the blade up. Didn't quite work out as well as I would have liked. There's some things I like about it. Like it took this mirror polished core here of the SLD Magic and it went really, really dark. And then it kind of has some interesting things going on the texture, but overall it's one usation of the BBNM from North Mountain Blades. I will give you a quick history lesson of what it is we're looking at, because you might be saying, hey, this kind of looks like a stride part, and I moved it up.
So yeah, very cool looking knife.
The blade fell free. I wasn't expecting it to, and it just slammed into my thumb.
You see what it looks like
nice
in
hollow
hand.
grind right here, very thin behind the edge, extremely thin, extremely sharp. Amazing job from North Mountain Blades. Who
Maybe he'll hold it in his hand at some point.
Amazing job sharpening this thing. 3V steel on this guy. That was kind of. So he started making SNGs and SMFs kind of in the production style again in very small batches, which is why they're super sought after and very,
he doesn't really grip it up the whole video, it looks
it's
like.
a very small operation and they're kind of filling a very little niche.
Well, super cool knife. Thank you for sharing that. Next was Bostede Croc. I wasn't familiar. I know we looked at it, but I don't remember what it looked like. Oh yeah. Now I remember. Got some super cool patterns. I don't mind some of when they have like a standard symmetrical shape, I don't mind a little bit of flare here and there. What are these pouches for free? Does anybody know what's up with this pop-up? Should I get a blue one? Maybe so. See how much shipping free stuff really is. It looks like they only have a few models available on their website right now. Is this available on White Mountain Knives? Which colorway did you get, sir? They are available, but they're sold out on White Mountain Knives, except for this carbon fiber one. Looks like the other ones, and they have, is this an exclusive? No. Yeah, that's a sharp looking knife. Tommy, you got the budget blue one? All right. Which one was that? Let's see. This one? Oh, that's not budget. Ah. This blue and purple with the black blade? Oh, you got it on Amazon? That's a porcupine. They have the different varieties here. Yeah. There we go. 69 bucks. I'm guessing that's the one you got. Yep. Yeah, I like that knife. I'm guessing it's a top liner lock. Like, I think that's what they're going to exclusively, pretty much, with their button locks. Ron Crow said, well, Michael mentioned the new buck. We went to Blade HQ yesterday and we saw it in the new arrivals. We'll look at it real quick before we move on to the other one. Right here, the Range Elite and the Mini Range Elite are the two models they've been pushing. I guess the reason it's, like he said, the reason it's $219 is because it's made in the USA. I sure wish it was titanium. But, oh well. Yeah, I'd like to see what one feels like for sure. And then Ron Crow said he's waiting on his TPK exclusive Ultim Penguin. Got a piss penguin. From who? Oh, Traditional Pocket Knives. Ultim Penguin. Aha. So Mr. Ron Crow is waiting on that one today. Stacy said she will be there. Robin said he's got a attention to detail small domino. Mark II small. Where's the domino? Mark I, Mark III. Guessing it might be one of those. Aha. It is the Mark II. Stonewashed domino. That's a nice knife. Guessing that's the version you might have gotten. That's a super cool knife. Robin buys those bangers. Let's see. Desert Warrior Penguin. I mean, Desert Warrior. I don't know why I said desert. Desert Warrior Penguin. That looks like a pretty girl's knife. Pretty lady's knife. It's got sprinkles and all. Desert Warrior. Definitely a cool looking knife. I like specialized knives for women. What happened to that? Their pop-up failed. Huh. Yeah, Pete, it would be nice to have a, what did you post a link to? Oh, a real deal belt. 1x30. Yeah, that looks nice. That's the same brand that my my blast cabinet is. I like that brand. They're a budget brand, but they seem to do decent stuff. And their website, they have all kinds of stuff. So you ought to go check them out if you're looking for inexpensive power tools. They have pretty much anything you can think of. Let's see. The Strix update would be nice, Pete. Sever 7 with his Unkovsky addiction again. I can't afford an Unkovsky, Sever. Not like you. I can't afford $700 knives. $2,000 knives. Yeah, and I don't like this style anyway, the long and sleek, like, it's more your style for sure. That one's $860, but yeah, I just don't like the looks of them. That one's $790. That one's alright. Just too long and skinny. Let's see. Pete sold his Maverick. Guy got a good deal on it. You got scammed on a Noel Grace on Knife Swap? Robin? Take care, Ron. See you later. Yeah, Robin. Did you get scammed on Knife Swap? I don't think you got scammed, Robin. I think he'll come through for you. So, Robin, let me give you a thing that's pretty cool. So, USPS has a thing called informed delivery. And if you sign up for informed delivery, you can sign up for free. It will tell you when a package gets a label created that's coming to your house. So if for some reason he has made a label, it will show you that you have a package on the way, even though he hasn't told you anything about it yet. So it's a pretty cool little service to sign up for free. It also shows you pictures of what's coming in your mailbox every day. They send you an email that shows you actual photos of what you're getting in the mailbox today. So it's a super cool service that everybody should sign up for. It's called Informed Delivery. And I'll throw the link in the chat here. But yeah, you can do that, and if he's created a label, you'll be able to see you have a package on the way to you. Robin, I don't think you're scammed, buddy. I think you'll be okay. Christopher said he posted a picture. Let's see. Of the Nirvana you received yesterday. All right. Let me see what we're talking about there. Guess you put it in knife picks. No. Modding. No. Where did you put it? Oh, general. I don't see it on Discord. You'll have to tell me where you put it. Oh, knives for sale section. Duh. Pay attention, Chip. So, what did they send you? What's wrong with it? Got a dark wash? No? Oh, it's the dark color titanium, maybe? I'm totally confused. What, Oh, it's a DC 53 version? That's what's different about it, I guess. Y'all aren't seeing what I'm looking at, but that's fine too. Uh, yeah, I didn't even know they made a DC 53 version. Wait, I'm confused. So, what's up with that one? Why are you getting rid of it? What's wrong with it? I hate that they've got their Spyderco section totally separate now because they don't have as many knives as they used to. Oh, it really is DC 53. Huh. Why are you getting rid of it so quickly, Christopher? You don't like the dark wash or something? Yeah, what's the nice sense? Is that a max ace? I don't know what knife we're looking for there, Pete. You said you had one in hand. It took me here when I typed in that word. Maybe I typed it wrong. Oh, I put an M. Duh. Kingsford Knives. All right. Kaiser made, huh? That's pretty cool. Nice big fat washers. Made in China by Kaiser. Yeah, I didn't know you had one of those. Robin, I don't think Wink would take the dark wash off. No. Uh. Oh, that's why you're selling it so cheap. Wink doesn't really remove dark wash. It removes ano. It might remove the dark wash. I don't know. To be honest, that's something I haven't tried. Oh, back to talking about the knife. So, not my favorite color, Tiffany blue. But since the handles will be Tiffany blue, what do y'all think about doing an acid wash, stone wash blade? Or JT actually thought maybe we should try a mirror polish blade and then do a stone wash to it to give it that cool working finish with the shiny in the background. But I was kind of curious what y'all thought about I don't have to use these. I've got some other micarta, but I thought I would just use this anyway since it's the first one. So yeah, I'm curious to see how. Oh yeah, you asked me how thick this was, and I said it was an 1/8, but I'm not sure about that. Let me check here. In millimeters, it's 3.4, 3.50. In inches, in fractional inches, it is 9/64, but so that would be 0.142. Pretty thick. I mean, it's thicker than, well, it's not thicker than the back of that. You can't see, they're not lined up exactly right, but the Pops Pro Cut kit, I think, tells exactly how big it is. It definitely won't remove the dark wash on the blade, but you can sand that off. That's no problem. All you gotta do is hit that with some like 1,000 grit sandpaper and it'll come right off on the blade. Let me end this poll. I don't know why the poll has been going the whole time. Uh-oh. Oh. I was thinking the votes changed, but they didn't. I was reading the number. I was confused there for a second. Y'all don't mind hitting that thumbs up while you're here. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I can't believe. Oh, yeah. I was going to go look at the Pops Pro Cut kit real quick, so I can give you actual stats on that. But I got to buy a few more of those kits now, because I want to make a bunch of these fixed blades. So the Pro Cut Challenge kit is only $17. It's 1/8 by 1.5 by 8 inch, and 1/4 inch Tiffany blue scales. So the Pro Cut steel you were asking about is pretty close to, let's see, about, he had it on here somewhere. He tells you how to heat treat and temper it. So we're gonna have to build we're gonna have to build a heat treat oven. I mean, we're gonna have to do all that throughout this series. So we're gonna learn how to use a blowtorch and fire bricks, and maybe some of the stuff we buy from Amazon to make a forge. Pops Pro Cut steel. It's a carbon steel, so it'll take a patina nicely. So we ought to do some kind of mustard or finish on it. So let's watch this little video and it'll tell us.
Deal I've been working on called Pops Pro Cut. What's really... Hi, I'm Laren. This is Knife Steel Nerds. Today we're talking about an exciting new steel I've been working on called Pops Pro Cut. What's really exciting about this steel is it has great properties for the end user, but it's also very easy to use for the knife maker, and the price is pretty good too. So if you want to hear about a new carbon steel, stick around. In March 2024, Joey Berry of Pops Knife Supply called me and said he wanted to develop a new steel. He said their most popular steel was 80CRV2, and so he wanted 80CRV3. I was like, you mean 80CRV2 with a little more vanadium? And he said no, but he wanted some kind of sequel to 80CRV2 that would be more exciting. I was like, well, that idea doesn't excite me at all, but that I would go and give it some thought and see if I had any ideas that would fit along those lines he was thinking about. So I thought about gaps in the market of low alloy knife steels, also called carbon steels, that would be usable by the knife maker that is buying 80CRV2. What would that kind of knife maker be able to use, but would have better performance? Because steels like 80CRV2, they basically have no wear resistance at all, which limits their potential edge retention. This is similar to the ideas behind Cruforge V, which is a long dead grade now, but it was designed before Crucible's first bankruptcy to be a knife maker friendly steel that could be forged and work back then. Said that hides with dirt and sand in them, forging. So one of the things that I thought about was that our selection of high nickel steels is very limited. So 1520, L6, and 8670 are pretty much it. And those steels are really high in toughness, higher than 80CRV2, and they offer good hardness to go with it, but they don't have any wear resistance at all. There's almost no carbide in there. So I thought if we added some tungsten and vanadium to a high nickel steel, we could make the steel more balanced, give it some wear resistance along with that high toughness. This could give us better toughness and better wear resistance than an 80CRV2. Also, the carbon forge heat sees grain growth already at like 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, and then its toughness drops off a cliff. So if we kept the tungsten and vanadium in check, like to reasonable levels, we could maintain good forgeability. I
don't want to watch this whole 30-minute video,
so
but
it would be easy for beginners to use, but we can have something that is really easy to heat treat in a forge and offers that good edge retention like other tungsten vanadium steels like Blue Steel or V-Toku or Wolfram Special or 1.2519. They're all kind of obscure steels. They're even kind of hard to obtain a lot of times, and they can be expensive. So let's get something out there that everybody can buy, it's easy to use, and we have an exciting set of properties. Also, that high nickel, if we add 2% nickel to it, then it can be used in pattern welded Damascus as the bright layer. Because 15, we can that their production annealing process, because the annealing procedure we felt was going to be very important to make sure that the steel would respond well to forge heat treating. And so we went to the mill and they made the steel, and then we started testing and we were really happy with how it turned out. To give some comparisons with steels that are in a similar class to ProCut, we could start by looking at the other high nickel steels, 15 and 20 L6 and 8670. They have a little bit less carbon because they don't have the carbide formers, tungsten and vanadium. And series of steels or V-Toku or Wolfram Special, those all have some fraction of MC carbide.
Grinding
so
and
far
finishing.
Say that grinding and polishing is very easy. So all signs are positive right now. I haven't seen any mirror polished blades. Maybe those would be more difficult, but for
quenching oil,
that is pretty high. I also found this in testing 15 and 20. So that high nickel, any quenching oil, even canola, and with relatively thick cross sections. So with high hardenability, that means ProCut is not well suited for developing
forging and thermal
so
cycling.
The higher the carbon, the easier it is to overheat the steel, leading to crumbling or cracking while forging. The carbon content of ProCut is limited to about 0.87%, so this is not a huge factor. For some safety, I put in the datasheet to limit forging to 2200 degrees Fahrenheit or 1200 Celsius. Some knife makers, especially Damascus makers, want to push the boundary of forging temperature, like they want to go really hot, and that can sometimes lead to problems. 250 degrees per hour. Forging experiment with 1084 and ProCut by Dirk at Pops Supply resulted in very good contrast. So he got good results with it so far. We also kept the chromium content very low. Interesting thing about Catra testing is that it uses silica as the treatments. One from 1650 with a 450 temper, which was about 61 Rockwell.
61!
And one with 1500 and 300, which resulted in 64 Rockwell. Now, one interesting thing about Catra testing is that it uses silica as the abrasive that wears out the edges. Silica is sand, which sand is like particle, low content of cementite, and basically none if you use the high temperature. It looks great.
Looks like interesting steel.
So this is not true. Simple carbon, but if ADCR-V2 is also lacking in wear resistance. Apex Ultra. Okay, to provide specific heat treatment recommendations, you can find those in the datasheet, but I will summarize some of them. If you're heat treating in a forge, you heat to 1 shade brighter after reaching non-magnetic, and you quench in oil. Most any oil will do. Then you temper twice for 1 hour each time at 300 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit to your desired hardness.
Oh, that'll be cool. You can do that in a regular oven.
To maximize toughness, you use 1650 for 10 to 15 minutes. For higher edge retention, you use 1500 for 10 to 15 minutes. Then you quench in oil and temper twice at 300 to 450 degrees. If you were forging the steel, then you have the annealing and normalizing 1500 for 10 to 15.
1500 for 10 to 15 minutes prior to quenching. And 300 to 400 degrees for tempering. Temper twice for 1 hour each, cooling to room temperature between.
Then you quench in oil and temper twice at 300 to 450 degrees. If for 30 minutes and cool at 1. And on top of all of that, it is very beginner friendly, being easy to heat treat, grind, and finish. So I hope ProCut takes off. I think it fits a very good niche, and we'll see how it does.
Awesome. All right. Well, should be super cool steel. Yeah, I'm gonna so we're gonna get some of the wrap. Let's see. We're gonna follow like a. We're gonna use some of the stuff you can buy from Amazon. The and you can use plaster of Paris, but there's Instructables. Talks about using a brake drum to make a forge. And let's see, real easy way to make a forge with a hair dryer and a brake drum. You can see in that picture right there, that's how to forge metal. But I'm going to buy, let's see, right here. I think this is the one. Yeah, so you can make one out of a old used propane tank pretty easily. And all you need is some fire bricks and some kale wool board and some kale wool blanket. So you can buy that at Amazon. Right here, you can buy rolls of it right here. So we ought to be able to buy some fire bricks and get an old propane tank and make us a nice little forge. Fire bricks are cheap, easy to find, easy to get. You can buy that blanket stuff. You can line the blanket on the inside, put the fire bricks in the bottom, get you a blowtorch. And be good to go. So I think that's probably, I'm going to build one that I can reuse and use over and over again. So one of the days we'll go through and try to build one of these too. So that'll be pretty cool. I will have to get some better cutting discs, cutting for my grinder, and have to find my corded grinder, but I got to get some better. Yeah, all you need is a propane tank, some wool, some fire bricks, some heat stove cement, some paint, and some bolts and stuff, and go to town. So that I'm going to share this. Instructables is a great site on learning how to do stuff cheaply. So I'll share that link really quick for y'all. Ed seems to love that giant Miller Brothers knife, which is ridiculous. That thing is huge and heavy and unweldable. But I guess I did just buy an Omega, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But here's Ed's, I guess he did something to the backspacer. Possibly. Ed, what did you do to the backspacer? Put a lanyard on it? Colored it? Oh, you colored them a little bit? Are they blue or something? I can't tell. I guess they are blue. Yeah, they are blue. TC posted a picture of him and his son's first knife they're making. That's awesome. Father and son. I posted all the designs in the modding channel if y'all want to go check those out. And if y'all buy a Pops Pro Cut kit and want one of these little designs and I'll tell you how big to print it out. But the very first one I did is the one y'all picked. Throughout the night as I was making them, I posted pictures of them. But I want to make quite a few of these now. I really think that one would be nice. And I like that one too. But I like the other one I posted better, which is, I believe, I don't know. There's a bunch of cool ones. Like I said, I went through a ton of designs. And one more time, just so if y'all didn't see that video, how me talking about a silly thick knife, I don't know why I'm talking trash when that one is that thick. So I guess that Miller Brothers knife is alright. This is Vero Graffiti. This is Ed's picture of that Cobra knot, double Cobra knot thing. But anyway, we've been going 2 hours now. I think I'm going to start winding this one down. Yeah, the color, the contrast didn't show up very great in the picture, Ed. Smart ass. You can't really tell the contrast difference. It looks gray. Especially right there, you can't tell it's blue. I mean, you can after you look at it for a minute, but turn your eyeballs up a little. All right, then. I will turn my eyeballs up a little. What did I do with that? Oh, there it is. There's my wax and my 2 little wax applicators I made. Stacy, have a good day. Yeah, those turned out good. I don't know why I made this one so long, but you live and you learn. So I need to apply some of this to some knives, I guess. I started to put it on some, see what it did to my Carta. Soak in, and G10 and my Carta and blades and all kinds of stuff. I need to put it on some knives that I'm going to have put up, like my nice clones that I just showed this morning, that Haptic and all of those. I've not waxed anything. That's what she said. I guess you can apply it with your finger just fine. And I don't know if you're supposed to like put it on and then wipe it off with something else. Maybe that would defeat the purpose. But yeah. Anyway, I've got the little applicators now, so that's cool. Appreciate y'all sticking through with me today. Sorry I wasn't unable to do more grinding with that little thing and my setup today, but I wasn't prepared. But we did get some metal removed, and we almost got this end. Definitely need to use my better belt sander. And I need some water handy. This is going to be a fun project. It'll be something to look forward to on Thursdays until we get it done. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you being here. If y'all need me, you know how to get a hold of me. My email is up there in the top right, bladealchemy4u@gmail.com. Within the next couple of days, I should be getting that post up for all the knives for sale. JT, I know you sent me a message about wanting to pay me for those two, but then you were saying don't ship yet because you might get some more. I'm not really worried about the money, but those two are definitely yours. So don't worry about anybody else getting them. But yeah. And hope y'all have a great day. What is today? Thursday? I'm losing track of time because I'm working 7 days a week. So y'all have a great Thursday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning.